building hanging out with Retro. You already know what it is. It's your homegirl, Lottie Dottie. I'm in the building hanging out with Retro, and he ain't never lying.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big Cell. You still keeping it 100.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your man Kodak, the most hated, coming to you live from the Retro Philosophy Show, where I always listen to my man, 50 Grand, Pastor Retro. You know what it is.
Hey now, this is the Mileage Bully, the Moto Mob CEO, home of the Moto Mob where legends are made. You are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do. Press play.
Yes, sir.
My man.
We got you, boss man.
Love you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Sam, your boy David here, about to yeet this little stone at Goliath and see what happens.
Okay, so I told y'all to trust the process, but no, y'all wanted to stay in Egypt stacking bricks.
Yo, it's Shadrach. This random dude just showed up. It's getting lit in here.
I got the horses in the back. Horse tack is attached. Hat is matte black. Got the boots that's black to match.
You know I'm a daddy's boy. He's got me in this Technicolor drip. Brother's so jelly right now. They're looking a little sus.
These Philistines thought they could flex on me. Big mistake. I just took some pre-workout and finna bring the house down.
I would like to formally apologize to God, the sailors, and this whale. Sorry.
Y'all make sure y'all check out the Retro Philosophy Show on YouTube with my man Retro. Like, subscribe, comment, share, copy the link, put it on Instagram in your bio, put it on your Facebook page, send it to your mama, text it to somebody. But y'all make sure y'all follow this page, the Retro Philosophy. Stop playing.
Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. It's your boy Retro. Let you know that registration for Mission 448 is open. You can register today and ride the four corners of your state or multiple states. Who's going to be the first to collect the four corners of each of the lower 48 states? Hashtag Who's Got Next. Register today and ride the four corners of your state. including Lottie Dottie. You already know what it is. It's your boy Retro with you on today. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. God has been better to me than I could have ever been to myself. How y'all doing on today, man? It's like 193 and a half degrees here in the Carolinas, man. I don't know what's going on, man, but I tell you what, man, it's like hot for real. Hopefully you guys have been maintaining. I want to give a shout out to the Mission 448 family. Let's make some noise right there. Hashtag who got next. I should have put my shirt on. Hashtag who got next. Because we need to know who got next. Who's up next for Mission 448. We just had a husband and wife duo knock it out. The Four Corners of North Carolina. So I'm trying to find out what's the next state that I'm going to do. In the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, let me know which state you think I should do next. Do you want me to come to your state and do the Four Corners of your state? Because I've already done the Four Corners of my state, and you haven't done the Four Corners of your state. So maybe I'll come to your state and do the Four Corners of your state. Hey, watch out there now. So real talk, and as a matter of fact, let me see here. Bada boom, bada bang. What do I want?
I done said all I got to say.
No, I know.
A lot of people like to hold back, but I don't hold back nothing. I tell you just like it is.
I want to be very clear and transparent.
Yeah, you've got to sign up for Mission 440. I just want to let you guys know, because I ain't doing nothing but telling the truth, and I want to be extremely clear when I tell you, you got to do it, all right? So in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what state you would like to see me do the Four Corners of next. And if you have not already joined the group, please do so here on Facebook. You can go to Mission 448, and there's a couple questions that it asks you. What state you do you plan on doing the Four Corners of your state? What kind of motorcycle you ride? And it might be one more simple question, just to make sure you're not a bot or AI or whatever, and then you'll gain access to the group. Let's make some noise for the mayor of Wilson in the building. C1s, what's going on, brother? Hey, bro, man, I thought about you the other day because Wilson is in the headlines, man. Yeah, Wilson is in the headlines. There was a lady who walked into a local establishment to get her vehicle serviced, and the people in the lobby were asking why the banks were closed or something like that, and they were trying to figure out what holiday it was, and somebody said Juneteenth, and they were just laughing about it and making, and the lady says, can you please go and get my vehicle and pull it off the rack or whatever and bring it around? I'm not spending any money here. I'm not doing any business here. It was a black lady. And it was, some white folks that was making light of Juneteenth. So Wilson, that happened in Wilson, North Carolina. Shame on that establishment. Just because you don't understand a thing doesn't mean you should make fun of it. And just because you don't support a thing doesn't mean you should make light of it. Different people support different things for different reasons. And I just happen to be the kind of dude that just, I tend to want to respect everybody as much as I can. There have been people, and we'll jump into the show here in a little bit. There have been people who have done things that were very offensive, and they knew what they were doing. They were intentional with the offense, but I chose not to take offense. Hear me, folks. And I don't think, the lady, I don't think she took offense, but she got up out of there. And let me say this, if I could. What little bit of money I got, because my money don't grow on trees like some of y'all's do, and what little bit of money I do have, I'm going to spend it wisely. I'm going to spend it with people who I'll just leave it at that. We spend money with folks a lot of times who, I'll say it like this. Okay, Caesar just went to for Lady Louise to get his inspection. And so, what was I going to say, folks? Bada boom, bada bang. Well, anyway, we have a choice as to where we spend our money. That's what I was going to say. There have been, and there are different designers. I remember one time, might have been Louis Vuitton or one of those other major brands was in the headlines because they said that they didn't want us, and us meaning black folk, wearing their product. But that didn't stop y'all from going out there and still buying their product and wearing it. But you get one chance to show me your behind. Come on now. What's going on? Let's make some noise for Nick Holly in the building. My big brother making it do what it do. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. You might not know it, but there is a very, very strong chance your boy Retro is headed to Ohio. Yeah. Stay tuned. You'll hear a little bit more about it. But anyway. What's going on, Nick? God bless you, sir. Thank you for pressing play and joining the broadcast on tonight. Don't go nowhere, because we're going to talk about you too, all right? We're going to talk about you too in a little bit. See, when I talk about folk, I like to talk about them to their face. I like to talk about them in their presence, so that way if I say something wrong, they can correct me. I don't know what some of y'all be doing. Y'all be talking about folk behind their back, and you know, you ain't heard it from me. Nah. Don't talk about somebody, then talk about you ain't heard it from me. When I talk about somebody, it's hot up there. I'm sure it is, bro. I talk about them in their presence, and if it's not in their presence, if I said it, I'll repeat it. Because I mean, you know, and I'm not trying to be Billy Bad Boy or nothing like that, but I'm just not going to say anything that number one is not true, and number two is disparaging. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of y'all got to realize that when it comes to me, let me see if I can find my boy.
I'm not gonna say it all I got to say. No, I know. A lot of people like to hold back. But
I ain't gonna hold. I'm gonna tell the truth.
I suffer from a disorder where I tell the truth and it pisses people off.
So if you deal with me some kind of foul way, and you don't want, you know, anybody to know, don't deal with me foul. Because if somebody asks, now I'm not necessarily saying I'm gonna be run out there and say, hey, look what so and so did, but let somebody ask. You think I'm gonna hold back? Nah, I ain't holding back. Somebody asked me the other day about a certain individual, and I told him the truth. I told him the truth. You know, it is what it is. And gonna be what it's gonna be. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. Hopefully you press play because you like me and you think I'm pretty cool, and you come for some inspiration and you get that. Hopefully that's the case. You know, let's see here. Bada boom, bada bang. This is what we're gonna talk about tonight. Okay, inspiration, insight, and integrity. Not everyone that has insight has integrity. I'll leave that alone. We're not going to dig into that aspect of it tonight. What is your motorcycle Mount Rushmore? Okay, if you had to come up with 5 people that were going to go on the mountain for motorcycle Mount Rushmore, who would your 5 be? Now you know I got to be up on there. I mean I'm doing the show. I put together the graphics, so. Come on now, I'm not gonna leave me off. I mean, come on, who does that, man? I mean, you know, so I'm on there, whether you like it or not, whether you agree or not. I'm on there. You know, it is what it is. Let's make some noise for Retro. Come on, man. I'm saying, man, I'm doing the best I can with what I got. We got our boy Reef up there, K Solo, Big Cell, Shaquila Bussy in the building. You already know what it is. Now, let's talk about this, folks. Disclaimer, okay. Big Cell posted this question a couple days ago on his Facebook page, and so I kind of piggybacked off of it, okay. And so that's what sparked the whole conversation for tonight's show. The Mount Rushmore of motorcycle or of motorcycling. So who inspires you? I was talking to the wife. We were talking today as we were riding in this 103-degree heat here in the Carolinas, and she says, I'm not sure who inspires me, you know, to ride. You know, she went on to talk about great stories that different people have that she's been watching. Because when my wife started getting into this thing, wanting to ride herself, I'll be seeing her. She thinks I'll be checking her out. I'll be checking her out, man. And so she be studying. She do, and she watches a lot of videos. When she was getting ready to take her safety course, you know, she was just watching a lot of videos, doing a lot of studying. She watched a lot of Robert Simmons, Be the Boss of Your Motorcycle, Joe Go, and there's another lady she was telling me about that she'd be watching. And so the stories from these different people and some of the riders have inspired her to get out there and be great. And she went on to mention that when she sees a story or hears a story or sees an individual who is new to riding, and then shortly after riding, they just get up and they just take a big trip, she said that inspires her. So in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to know what inspires you. Now, as it relates to the Mount Rushmore of motorcycling, there are different ones who do different things, okay? And not everyone rides the same. You can see my cuz down in the bottom, M1, that dude right there, man, legit, man. I mean, for real deal. I miss him so much, man. But he inspired me quite a bit. He really did, man, in more ways than one. And so, Reef and Solo, you'll see those guys riding together a lot, and so, but that doesn't mean they have the same riding style either, and so what are you saying, Richard? What I'm saying is there are different people who ride different, like case in point, you might catch K Solo in some remote area, sleeping in a tent or whatever like that, cooking some shrimp off of a hot rock or something like that, but you ain't gonna find Reef out there doing that kind of stuff. Reef gonna be in a 4-5-star hotel, and so we have so many different riders out here who have inspired so many people in different ways. Now, here's the thing about the Mount Rushmore. I would expect us to argue about the 5 that would be on the mountain. Not in a negative way, but, I have different riding habits. I have different riding desires, aspirations, et cetera, as do you. Therefore, the ones that I choose would differ from the ones that you choose, okay? And I believe that if we were to have our way, it would be a constant change. That mountain would be constantly changing. When you look at the motorcycle community for the most part, okay, you see what... you see what I call a lot of gray beards. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let's make some noise for the one and only Shaquila Bussy. She has entered the building, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, my good sister Shaquila. Where you at, girl? I mean, I know you ain't back in Virginia yet. Shaquila has launched out, a couple days ago. Must have been, how many days you been gone now, sis? About almost 20-some days, 22 days, something like that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, she launched out doing her thing, her ride across country on a little bitty 250, and she made it to California, and now she's making her way back to the East Coast, and so shout out to her. And she has made it to the Mount Rushmore of motorcycling. So let's start. Okay, so she's in Dallas, Texas, on the road 28 days. Good God Almighty, 28 days. See, that's what I'm talking about. I often talk with Shaquila, laugh with Shaquila, pick at Shaquila, whatever you want to call it, and because I like the way that she does her traveling. Anytime you see Shaquila Bussy on the road, she's gonna get it for a little bit, and then she's gonna shut it down. And she's gonna she for the most part, you see Shaquila out there on that road. She don't do a whole lot of hotels because she got people in every area code. There are some people that get on their motorcycle and they just pound from home to the destination. And it's all about the ride. They're not necessarily stopping to see anybody or fellowship or this, that, or the other. Now, for me, I've got a little saying. You guys have probably heard me say it. Matter of fact, my stickers came in on yesterday. So when I see some of y'all, or when I see any of y'all, if y'all want a sticker, just make sure you holler at your boy. And on my sticker, it says collecting miles and smiles. So when I get out there on my school, I'm wanting to stop, a couple states over, whatever, because I got folks here and I got folks there. And so when I'm out there, I intentionally want to connect with some of my people. Now, we got Nick Holly chiming in. He says Dwayne Slappy Jackson. And one of the reasons, I'm going to go out on a limb. But this is a reality, too, real talk, Slappy rides a Goldwing. So that right there alone, and Nick rides what? A Goldwing. You see what I'm saying? So different people will choose different people to go on their Mount Rushmore for different reasons. Now, how do somebody once said to me, your vibe will attract your tribe. And so, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure he has other reasons for choosing Dwayne Slappy Jackson. But you know, I currently ride a Harley. Things may change very soon. So, you know, just keep your eyes and ears peeled, and we'll talk about that on another show. But currently I'm on a Harley, and you know, most of the people that we ride with ride Harleys. And so we have that in common. And you understand what I'm saying? And sometimes it's those reasons that we are drawn to people. Ooh, he's got the same color Harley I got. Oh, he's got the same bike I got, or whatever. And so that's the thing that gets our attention first and foremost, sometimes, you know, and then we begin to check out the rest that they have to offer. So I want to give a shout out to TD205. If you have not already gone over and checked out his YouTube channel, please do so. He's out of the where's he out of? Alabama? Yes, he's out of Alabama. Shout out to him, TD205, aka Terrence Darling. He's also done the Four Corners of Alabama as well. So let's make some noise for him. But I was talking about the show earlier on one of my posts, and he commented, and he says, I don't think there is a right or wrong answer. And that was the right answer. There is no right or wrong answer. Again, we can sit here and we can argue, nah, he shouldn't be up there, he shouldn't be up there. And it's not so much that he or she should not be up there. It's just that you have more reason or more, you know, for someone else being up there. And there are so many people. Now, let me jump in here real quick and just, you know, get into some meat and bones of this whole topic on tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and aids, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. Minister Jennifer Evans is in the building. She is the Cam Fam Biker of the Year of 2025. So let's make some noise for her on this evening. Now, look at Nick now. Come on now, man. Don't make me blush up here, man. You making a black man blush. Come on now. Retro the Great and all that crazy foolishness. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you, man. I really do. Terry Hardy, what's going on? Hey, he says, hey, young blood. All is well, man. I hope you are doing well, too. So check this out now. There are people who do great things on their motorcycle. They do big things. They do amazing things, you know. Snacks, Cynthia Franklin. I mean, that woman right there, come on, man. She's all over the world, not just all over the state. You know, some folk go from state to state and they think they great. And they are in their own right. You know, but man, you know, this young lady, she's getting from country to country. I mean, she's out there on excursions, man. I'm just like, man. Okay. So he says Slappy's ride style and journey junk. Help me out with the journey junk. I'm not sure what that one is. But so Nick, would you say that his style, because I think that his style and your style is very similar, you know, and I think that that's a reason why you can connect with his content and so on and so forth. And that is perfectly fine, brothers and sisters. You know, we were talking Sunday, I believe it was, at church. And I was saying how, you know, first and foremost, we have brothers and sisters scattered abroad. But anyway, just to reel this thing in, as it relates to church, you know, we go to church to worship God, we leave to serve. And I was explaining to the church that as I expound on the word of God and encourage those who are there and inspire those that are there, they then take that word and they take that encouragement and they take that inspiration, and then they go back to their homes and their jobs and their neighborhoods and their schools and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And they reach people that I cannot reach. Now, I inspired them, and now that they're inspired, they reach somebody else. And so it just kind of works like that, you know. And so we have to realize that not everyone is going to have the same 5 on their Mount Rushmore, but we are reached by different people for different reasons, and that's just And the words of the late Sam Bass, that, my brother, is the bottom line. Okay, so again, in the comment section, I'd like to know, we got Slappy Johnson, so he's on there for Nick, and the rest of you guys who are watching, let us know who your top 5 are. Now, you might say that, okay, the gadgets and knowledge of the bikes and road work, he ride Harley and go. Yeah, he does. He does ride both. I will give him that, you know. And he seems like a cool dude, man. He seems like a cool dude. Matter of fact, Nick, it was you that told me about him, and that's when I started coming across more and more of his content. And so he does seem like a cool dude. I was looking forward to meeting him at the Run to the Hills, but Ruby went down, and so I didn't get a chance to see nobody. You know, nobody at all. But we're gonna fix that here real soon. We're gonna fix that real soon. Okay, so now I want to talk about I made mention on Big Cell's post of because his question was, who is it that inspires you and that you would want to meet, or something along those lines. And so for me, it was Big Cell. Who else was it? It was Big Cell, Preach Breed. Who else was it? Big Cell, Preach Breed, Big Country, or I should say Chris Senior, aka Big Country, and I think it was one more brother who I had said, and then as far as the ladies, it was Shaquila Bussey, Doc J, Icy, and it might have been one more sister as well. But here's the thing. Oh, look at that. So Minister Evans' top 5 would be myself, Tiffany Renee, K Solo, Shaquila Bussey, and Ricky Henry, and that is beautiful. And as I'm looking at it, every one of those that she chose, different riding styles, different strong points, you know, and that's the beauty of it right there. And the rest of you guys that are watching, by all means, in the comment section, go ahead and put in your top 5 who has inspired you or inspires you to ride. Now, there are different people that inspire different people for different reasons, and what I mean by that is I'm going back to, I want to talk on Icy for a quick minute. I had a chance to meet Icy. She's from Statesville, as am I. I live here in Statesville. Not originally from Statesville, but I live in Statesville. And so we had a chance of, I think we had become Facebook friends, but we had not yet to meet in person. Put a pin in that, Minister Evans, because I want to come back to your statement, and we're going to talk about those different styles. Okay, so I got a chance to. We became Facebook friends, and believe it or not, the funny story about myself and Tiffany. I'm drawing a blank here. Icy, Tiffany Nichols. I couldn't think of her last name for some reason. But anyway, it just so happened that I used to ride with a different group, and I was on my bike, and I can remember at the intersection and everything, and my phone buzzes. I looked down, and it was my president at the time, and he had sent me a picture of me on my motorcycle, and I'm like, this is today. This is like right now, you know, and so he said, you know, people are always watching. That's what he said in the text, and that was it. That was it to the text, you know. So I found out later on that it was actually Icy who had caught me out there on them twos and snapped the picture and sent it in. And so so we later came across each other and actually made our acquaintance at the Harley Davidson dealership here in Statesville. And when I tell you, me and this young lady engaged in a conversation that just sealed the deal for our friendship off of one word. Well, it was more than just a one word. I don't know if you know what a kingdom connection is. Well, that's what I call what took place there between Icy and myself. It was a kingdom connection. And the conversation that we had, it was all around Options. Yeah, options was the recurring theme of the conversation as we stood there in the Harley Davidson dealership. And then after that, we just became peeps. You know, we would ride together and everything like that. The wife and all of us and things of that nature. And so we think the world of her. Now, Icy has been, she was the president of a local all-female motorcycle club. And over 20 years, I think it was. I know it was at least 20 years. And they just maintain their integrity as a club, as women in a club. And so Icy was, how do I want to say this without sound like I'm trying to just, gas her up or whatever. Number one, she was just down to earth and genuine. And I think it was a two-way street for us. And when I say us, this was just not like me and Icy hanging out, but this me, my wife, Icy, and we just began to establish a very legitimate friendship, and I'll forever be grateful for it. Now, so she's on my Mount Rushmore because I believe God really used her to, how do I want to say this? Well, I tell you, I keep it a buck with you because you know all I do is tell the truth, right?
I all I got to say. No, I know. A lot of people like to hold back. I don't hold back nothing.
I'm going to tell the truth.
I take just like it is.
So she says to me one day, she looks me in my eyes, and she said, "Retro, don't change." Oh my goodness, she said, "Retro, don't change." And so from time to time on different occasions, you know, she would encourage me as a motorcycle ministry, to remain authentic, true, and steadfast. And so, you know, she will be on because she inspired me, you know, and we have to realize that. Let me see if I can get this graphic on the thing. Oh, there she go right there. See, I told y'all I'll talk about you, but I'd rather talk about you to your face. I don't know how long she been on the live, but I sure been laying it on kind of thick. Hey, now guys, let's make some noise for the one and only Tiffany Nichols in the building. What's going on, my peeps? And so let me say this. I want to say what's up to some people tuning in. We got Uncle Leroy in the building, aka Low Key. He says Highway Smiley, Sandra Smith, great people, man. We had the pleasure of riding from Dagon, Canada to Mexico, and truly great people. Both of them, their smiles is just priceless. And even Loki has been a very strong sense of inspiration for me as well, and that's just real talk. C1 says I'm pounding. I'm a pounding in training. Just pounded to Brooklyn on what? For my brother's 60th birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday. Okay. So let me find out. So you mean to tell me, C1s, that you got on Louise and you rode to Brooklyn? Man, yo, you in training, bro. You in training, man. You in training. God bless you, man. And I pray that you continue to have yourself a wonderful trip. Let's see. Okay, so let's jump back into this thing now. So people, when it comes to my Mount Rushmore, as I said, inspiration, insight, and integrity. Now, you could have a gazillion miles, but no integrity. You ain't gonna make it on my Mount Rushmore. That's just me personally, you know. Some people are so impressed by miles and certain accomplishments, but I'm impressed by integrity. I'm impressed by people who remain the same. And now I'm not talking about, stunted, but I'm talking about people who are consistent in character. The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Come on now. And so this Mount Rushmore of motorcycles, or motorcycling Mount Rushmore, I need for you to understand that it's okay for you to what's the word I'm looking for, to veer off from the status quo. Okay, because and I'm not taking anything from these people who have gotten out there and rode a gazillion miles and have put the time in, because that's no small accomplishment. Okay, but what I'm saying is sometimes we jump on the bandwagon just because, and I think we have to be a little bit more intentional than that, if that makes sense. That's so true. Integrity speaks volumes. It speaks volumes indeed, because a motorcycle, it's just that it's a motorcycle, and anybody can buy one, and get on it, and you can do, all of us can do the same thing. But for me, I think it boils down to the integrity. I've got a segment that I've done, and I'll be doing a little bit more of that particular segment. And as a matter of fact, let me see here. Let me put it up here real quick here. Bada boom, bada bang. There you go. Bikers Beyond the Bike. I had a conversation with a gentleman by the name of Reef. And Reef was explaining to me that, he gets out and he rides his motorcycle, but he also comes home and he's intentional about spending time with his family. And so, people who do things like that, they are a source of inspiration, not only on the motorcycle, but off the motorcycle. Sunshine Rogers. Had the pleasure of interviewing her some time ago, and it just blessed my soul. Number one, this woman has rode her motorcycle, okay? Motorcycles, plural. And then God shifted her life and began to take her in another direction. And he instructs her to sell her motorcycles. And she did. And when she sold her motorcycle, she didn't stop being great. Her smile did not diminish. Come on, somebody. Her presence was not dimmed. Some people, you only know them because they got that CVO with the matching sneakers. And this ain't got nothing. I'm saying, it just is what it is. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys tonight. And so without that cut, who are they? We've got to be bikers beyond the bike. I'm gonna say this, and I might get in a little bit of trouble, but it's true. So give me a little slack here, okay? Shout out to the one and only Chris Houston in the building. Let's make some noise. Big Sarge, what's going on, big dog? He's another one that's out there on the slab. I'm not sure if he made it back yet either. But my goodness, he took the long way to go down there and make it do what it do. All up over there and all over down over there. And you look at here, man. Sarge out there getting in, man. He getting some miles in. You hear what I'm telling you? And so I don't want to be a great club brother, but a crummy husband. I mean, we got to be bikers beyond the bike. If I'm a great biker, I want to be a great father. If I'm a great biker, I want to be a great husband, a great brother, a great friend, a great business partner, a great person. And sometimes we have people who will spend so much, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to be a great biker. They'll go out there and they'll invest in all the latest gear and the high-tech this, that, and put the systems on their motorcycle and the big wheel to match the back wheel. But they're not investing in themselves. You still the same shifty, shiesty individual you was in high school. And you almost daggone near 60 years old. And you've invested thousands and thousands of dollars on your motorcycle or motorcycles, but you haven't invested anything on you. And so, I am enjoying my time of my motorcycle being down. I had a few trips I was supposed to do. I hadn't been able to do them because my bike is down. But man, listen here. I was out there in the backyard today with my grandbaby and my little nephew, and they was out there in that little slippery slide thing, and I put it up for it's 90-some degrees, but I'm out there putting that thing up and setting it up, and then I took them for a little ride around the neighborhood and down the hill, down over there and everything, and on the little ATV and stuff. Hey, motorcycle down, but we're not gonna stop being great because I'm a biker beyond the motorcycle. you know. And so every time, come on somebody, every time I throw my leg over that bike, it's God's grace and it's God's mercy. It's a humbling experience, and I'm just grateful. But as I've said before, and I'll move on, I enjoy riding my motorcycle, but the joy of the Lord is my strength. And for some people, I'll just put it this way: not everyone can say that. For some people, I heard this one dude say, I'm about this life, and okay, bro, okay, and then a couple weeks later he had shifted and just so I guess he really wasn't about that life. He was about the opportunity that was in front of him. Some people say they're about this life, but they'll shift on you in a heartbeat because they're opportunists. If there's a better opportunity in front of them, they're gonna jump on that bandwagon. Yeah, they're gonna jump there. See, what happened to people who are still willing to put the time in, to put the effort in, to make what they are currently a part of better? Shame on you if you want to jump ship every time something goes wrong in your organization. No organization is perfect because we got imperfect people that make up the organization. So you mean to tell me you're going to leave your organization because you want to go be a part of that organization because they great over there? Well, the grass always looks greener on the other side. And if you would take the same energy that you have trying to get over there and employ that where you are, then your organization would be as great, if not greater. I'll leave that alone. But we are talking about what? Inspiration, insight, and integrity. You have no integrity if you jump ship every 5 months. Now, I get it. There comes a time where you've got to move on, where you've got to, that's a true statement indeed. But if you are leaving because of the way things are going, and in other words, if you're leaving because you don't like the way things are going, but yet still you haven't done anything to try to make things better, you have no integrity. You have no integrity. Today's show is not about, that. So let me see if I can get back on track here. Amen. The joy of the Lord is my strength. Sister, you better want to know it. And we must keep that in the forefront of our minds. We've got to keep it in the forefront of our hearts. And I am specifically speaking to those of us who say we are Christians. Okay? We'll save the rest of that for Thursday because we're going to dig into some stuff on Thursday for Motorcycle Ministry. So make sure you guys tune in on Thursday evening as we dive into that. So the Mount Rushmore of motorcycles, guys. Who is it that inspires you? Check this out. There are some people out here who do a lot of great things and they go a lot of great places. And but I think there's a difference between being I'll say it this way. There's inspiration, and then there are those who maybe not so much inspire as much as they do set the trend or set the standard. And that has its place, too. I'm not pitting one against the other. I'm just articulating this so that we can understand that there are those who inspire us. For me, right, I rock with Lottie Dottie, right? Bada boom, bada bang. Oh, that's not what I wanted.
You already know what it is. It's your homegirl, Lottie Dottie. I'm in the building hanging out with Retro, and he ain't never lying.
And the reason why I rock with Lottie Dottie is because Lottie Dottie is a fictitious individual, but ever so real. She represents those who are mistreated, overlooked, lied to, lied on, forgotten about, mishandled, etc., etc., etc. And so when I see someone who is doing the best that they can with what they got, I pay attention. And then I try to encourage, I try to invest, I try to do whatever I can to help see them get over that hump and get to that place. So when I see somebody who overcomes opposition, who overcomes hurdles, who overcomes struggles, setbacks, and all those kind of things, that inspires me. With that said and done, ladies and gentlemen, don't think that because, and I'll just use this for numerical, comparison, right? Just because you do, we'll just say 80,000 miles a year, doesn't mean that the little guy that does 30,000 miles a year can't inspire you. Inspiration is not about, surface things. It's about so much more. There might be something in that young brother that reminds you of you when you were that age or when you was at that place in life. And that can inspire you to keep on going on. Okay. I used to be a Sunday school teacher, right? I can't remember what grade I had, but nevertheless, they were little kids. They was like grade school ages. Now here I am. I'm studying for my lesson, right? Because I got to teach them Sunday school, and I get to church and I'm teaching Sunday school. But you know what's true, folks? I learned so much from them. It's very possible I learned more from them than they learned from me. What are you saying? What I'm saying is, even if you are on Mount Rushmore, don't cease to allow someone else to inspire you. We don't ever want to get to the place where we have the big head. See, when you get the big head, you know what that does to Mount Rushmore? It causes God to send the lightning strike. Yeah, and boom. Yeah, and the whole thing comes crumbling down. Because you got to realize, ladies and gentlemen, that when pride goes before destruction, God has a way to bring us back down. So don't ever forget where you came from, and don't ever forget where you're going either, because the enemy is a very shrewd individual. There have been so many people in life. I'm not going to try to restrict this to just the motorcycle world or community or whatever. This is life, period. There are so many people who have become noticed, who have become successful, who has become popular because of what they did. And I mean that in a good sense. But then they allowed the popularity and the notoriety and everything to get to their head and to get to it the wrong way. And then before you know it, they went astray. Again, inspiration, insight, and integrity. I think to make it to... Pride is a sneaky demon, sister. It is. It really is. It really is. I think in order to make it to the Mount Rushmore, not just of the motorcycle world, but in life, period. If I'm thinking life in general, there's a few generals that come to my mind. Samuel Bass, he recently passed. Bishop Leo Lewis. Bishop Marion Shaw. Who else would I put on there? Bishop Theodore Brooks. He would make it on there. And this obviously is, well, with the exception of Sam Bass, most of these brothers are, bishops and stuff from the church. But these gentlemen, they left an impression on me that have forever shaped who I am. Now, as it relates to the motorcycle community, what some may not understand is that the Lord had been doing a work on me for many years. Oh my goodness. I often talk about David in the Bible. And when I teach about David, one of the things that I really love to teach about David is the fact that David went through phases and stages of his life. I often say he was anointed to become king. He was not anointed to be king. He was anointed to become, which means he was anointed for the process. And so with that said and done, you look back over the life of David. He was a shepherd boy. He then became a warrior. He then became a king, and so there were stages that he went through. And sometimes we get to a place and people don't understand the process that we've already gone through to get to where we are. I purchased my first motorcycle at 15 years old. I was still going to Commerce. I was proud of that little EX500. Couldn't tell me nothing. My girlfriend at the time, now my wife, would throw that sexy thigh across that thing and we'd ride off into the sunset. True story. I pick her up from cheerleading practice or whatever, and we would ride off into the sunset. And so I've been riding for a very long time, some 30 years. Let's see here. Some 35 years, something like that. Yeah, 35 years. And but here's the interesting thing. In those 35 years, well, yeah, the Lord intentionally kept me from getting involved in any motorcycle organization. Because back then I didn't have the Lord in my life, y'all. It would have been ugly. I'm just gonna be honest with you and tell you the truth, you know. But then yet still he sends me back to it in this phase of my life. And now here we have Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry. But God had a purpose and he had a plan. And so we have to understand that his ways are not our ways, his thoughts are not our thoughts. But trust and believe he's got a purpose and he's got a plan. So ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, don't seek just to be great. But if you offer inspiration, insight, and integrity, you have no choice but to be great. I think sometimes we major in the minors and minor in the majors. I think sometimes we major in the minors and minor in the majors. We got it twisted. Sometimes we put the cart before the horse. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, make some noise for my sister. Jennifer is in the building. What's going on, Jen? How you doing, girl? Hope all is well. Hope the twins are doing good and everybody and the big kids. And, you know, they big, for real now. But it's good to see you on tonight, man. Hope all is well. And hopefully we get to see you guys sooner than later. All right. So the Mount Rushmore, ladies and gentlemen, that's it, man. You know, I'm grateful as well as humbled to have made it to some people's choice of top 5 who have inspired. Kingdom Alignment Motorcycle Ministry, we have a vision statement that we say, and as we do more than say it, we stand by it. It is to encourage and nourish a love for motorcycling and a respect for the motorcycle community while exemplifying the love of God, winning souls to the kingdom 1 mile at a time. Let's back up and talk about this for a minute. To encourage and nourish. Sometimes you have people who will encourage you to do something but never give you the tools to do it. So when you encourage, or let me say it this way, when you nourish what you encourage, that's inspiration. You're inspiring somebody. You're doing more than inspiring. You're enabling them. I should say not enabling. You're empowering them. Okay. Now here's the deal. Sometimes we would miss those opportunities if we only focus on the greats. Can I give you guys a true story? I'm gonna have my homie on the show here soon. I've been wanting to get him on the show. I got to reach out to him and say, yo, bro, we got to make this happen. We went to school together. Ricky McKenzie. Me and that dude right there, we go back like way back. I'm saying, you know, we go further back than the Cadillac on Full Flats. He and I ventured out on a friendly venture many years ago. This had to be back in 1990, maybe even 89. I'm trying to see if we were still in I think we might have been in Duggan still, or we might have been first year at Commerce. But we did this. We did a party called No Holds Allowed. It was an after party we did. And we did good for two little young teenagers, you know, made a little bit of money, and we went on to do more and more and more. But I'm gonna get him on the show so we can just really go back and talk about some things and just, you know, keep it a buck with everybody. So true story. There was a group in our hometown in Springfield. Y'all might have heard of them, you know, a group called Morgan's Heritage. And this was before they were Morgan's Heritage. And they were doing their thing. And so I had a group. We had a little group called the Gigolo Syndicate. And so I had a couple budding artists that I was trying to, you know, get to the limelight and get, you know, and he was doing a lot with Morgan Heritage and Godfrey and a few other dudes who was in our city. Well, lo and behold, guess what? Morgan Heritage, they are well-known Grammy recipients, and they went on to do big things, and they will continue to do big things, no doubt, but I am and always have been, that dude that would root for the underdog. And if I had to do it again, true story, if I had to do it again, I wouldn't change it. I would have still promoted Humphrey Bogart and Midget, because those are the two that I was really pushing. And then, you talk about talented. Oh my goodness, extremely talented brothers in their own right. But talent is one thing and opportunity is another. Now, Morgan's Heritage, they had family who was in the industry and at a much higher level. And so that gave them an advantage on several different levels, not only experience, but also opportunities, if you understand what I'm saying. But true story. And I'm going to get Ricky on the show, man. Ricky, if you're watching, man, I need you to be a guest on here because I tell no lies. I just tell the truth. And so we're going to get him on here. We're going to talk about Two Friends Promotion. We're going to talk about, No Holds Allowed. We're going to talk about Fenwick Street. We're going to talk about it all. But real story. What I'm saying, what I said all that to say this. There are some people who could be great if they were only given the opportunity. And sometimes we miss the opportunity to inspire because we are too stuck on the greats. And sometimes we're only stuck on the greats because their names are the ones that's being called. So, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, I think that these folks that you see here on the motorcycle Mount Rushmore, I think they've earned their spot on that mountain. Each of them in their own right, myself included. The miles that these folks here have put down is nothing to shake a stick at. The experience, and you may say, Retro, you're just a newbie. Yes, sir, I is. Yes, sir, I is. But you don't have to be a professional to inspire somebody else to get out there and do it. As a matter of fact, sometimes it's because of your, how do I want to say this without sounding a certain kind of way? I'm trying to think how to articulate this, folks. Some folks are way up here, and then other folks are right here, still have access to this level, but also have access to this level. And so I'll just say it because I don't know no other way to say it. I have been able to inspire some people because I'm still close enough to their level to do so. It's not that the one that's on this level wouldn't inspire them, but they're cross country all the time. You got to catch them out there. And these folks here that's going from bike night to bike night, they're not crossing path with these folk up here, right, wrong, or indifferent, and so, you got to kind of meet people where they are. Not that these guys wouldn't meet them where they are, but they're out there, they're getting yonder, so if you want to catch them, you got to get out yonder and catch them. And if you get out yonder, you will catch them, and you'll find out that they're very down to earth, they're very inspirational, very helpful, very giving, very kind. Everyone on that mountain has showed me that. Now, let me get ready to close. It's not easy. I don't care who you are. It's not easy. I tell people that my miles are not for bragging. They're a point of reference. Yeah, my miles are not a badge of honor. They're a point of reference. And if you check out my miles, it will reference you to my dedication to what I do. And again, it's not easy. Now it's easy to get on there and twist the throttle and just go. But when you go, you're leaving home behind, and there's still stuff that's got to be done when you get back home. All that stuff has to be taken into consideration. You know, I can't be out here and gone weeks on top of weeks, and then, you know, come back home and, you know, I gotta get back in the saddle, right? So there's all those things that play into it, and then it costs to cross state lines. You know, gas, you know, repairs, room and board. I saw Cut Man. He went out to the Netherlands. I believe it was the Netherlands, and everything. Just recently got back from there, and he intentionally camped out most of the trip. I think he said 90% of his room and board was camping, and that's because it's more cost effective. It allows him to stay out longer and do more. And hey, my hats off to him, because I'm with you on that, bro. You know, when I get out there and I'm doing so, especially if I'm by myself, yeah, I'm gonna do some camping. When I rode up to Canada, guess what? I camped out along the way. I camped out at a truck stop one night. I camped out at a Harley Davidson one night. You know, and you do what you got to do to make it happen. Because again, man, to get across these state lines, it costs. You talk to some of these big ground pounders, these big time ground pounders, they would tell you it ain't cheap. Yeah, it's not cheap at all. But people will find the time and the resources to do what they want to do. Okay, some people spend more money on shoes and clothes, and then others choose to just, you know, spend it on traveling on their motorcycle, and others choose to spend it on drugs and women or whatever. You know, I ain't got now nickel in none of them quarters. I'm just saying what some people spend it on, allegedly. You know, but so anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. You know, that Mount Rushmore will change from person to person, and that's perfectly okay. So we just have to understand that. I'm thankful for everyone who has inspired me, and then there are some who have set a standard and by which we follow, and that's not necessarily inspiration. That's just, you know, setting the standard. You know, setting the example, setting the bar. If you're gonna do this, my friend, you got to at least come in right here. Because the bar has already been set. And for some of these people who have inspired me, I appreciate them because not only do they set the bar in terms of how to do this thing, literally, but also, how do I want to say this, with integrity. Yeah, with integrity. I'll leave it like that. So that's it for me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We had a few people share their list of 5 or 4, what have you. And again, every one of us will pick our 5 or whatever it is. Some say, yo, I can't pick just 5. It's been way more than that. And that's true, because there's so many people. I want to give a shout out to Kelly, to Kenny and Chris Wilson, these brothers here, Joseph Chisholm, Eddie Bird, Jason Jiggets, these guys here, man, number one, top notch, and they are really passionate about riding and what they do, but these are brothers of integrity, you know, and I hope they don't take this the wrong way. You might not see them clock 1,000,000 miles. But here's the deal, man. Their miles are no less than yours. These are brothers beyond the bike. Bikers beyond the bike. Brothers of integrity. Brothers that will, inspire you. Because if the only inspiration you receive is to get on your bike and do an iron butt, something's wrong with you. There's more to life than motorcycles. And if you say otherwise, something's wrong with you. I'm saying, because trust and believe, when you want a little nookie, you don't go lay on that motorcycle. You go lay up beside that woman. Come on now. And so there's more to life than motorcycles. I'm just saying, so let's make sure, because shoot, I'll be 50 years old this year, man. I don't know how old you gonna be, but I think based on my analytics, it's not a whole bunch of little whippersnippers that be pressing play on the Retro Philosophy Show. Small number of young folk, and I think my medium is like right there between 30 and 40, 30 and 50 or something like that. And so the point that I want to make is we're at a point in life now where we got to find a balance. We're at a point in life now where we got to, we got to take this thing serious. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie, let's make some noise for Natalie James in the building. I'm going to tell you where the mopeds at, Natalie. The mopeds are actually going, where are they going? I think they're going cross country or something like that. There's a group of mopeds, it's a true story, that are doing a big long ride, man. So that is a thing. That is a thing. And next year I'll be gearing up, if things go right, to do my Retro's Nifty 50. We'll talk more about that. We talked about it before, but we'll talk about it a little bit later on as time approaches. Would you ride a scooter cross country? I don't know if I would. I don't know. I tell you what, folks, me and my grandbaby had a conversation today. And she wants to ride the motorcycle. So I told her I got a old Kawasaki that I picked up. It's a 1975. That's the one that I'm planning on riding across country, because it's 50 years old. I'll be 50, and we're gonna hit Route 50 and ride it all the way to the end. And so I told her that it was her motorcycle. And she said, "Oh, Papa," she just, kind of like, and next thing you know, I saw her with her little cousin. She gave them a tour of the motorcycle. Yeah, this is my Papa bought this for me. This is my motorcycle. I was like, oh, okay, so she do want it. She is something else, man. Shout out to my grandbaby, Rivali Faith, making it do what it do. So anyway, we were talking today, and she seriously wanted to go for a ride today. And I said, "Papa's bike is broke." She said, "Well, Gigi's bike ain't broke, Papa." So in other words, she said I could put her on Gigi's bike. So what I told her, I said, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find a motorcycle with a sidecar. That way you can get in that thing and you can ride to your heart's content. So now I'm hunting for a sidecar motorcycle because my grandbaby wants to ride. And she's serious about it too, man. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys on tonight, man. Just wanted to hop on and talk about that, man. Shout out to those who made the Mount Rushmore. And again, I've got these 4 on here. Myself makes 5, but there are so many more people than those that are on this graphic here, who really, matter of fact, this Mount Rushmore, it should just be full with people. M1, you already know what it is. He would definitely be on there. We got Reef, we got K Solo, we got Big Cell, we got Shaquila. And there's so many others, and so this is the Mount Rushmore, but there are others who have inspired just as much. Now, I think that these guys here, have done more than just inspired. They've set a standard of sorts, Shaquila included. They've set a standard. So there is inspiring, right? But then there comes a time, and that's why that inspiration, insight, and integrity really come in place, because at some point you have to also set a standard. Because if you inspire 50 people, right, let's just use that for a number, you done inspired 50 people, who sets the standard? Now what if those that you inspired, they get out there and they start doing some loose stuff? You got to be like, hey, little homie, let me holler at you, And so, like I've said before, what's going on, Moose? Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for Moose Wilson in the building. And so my phone has rung, on many of occasions, and individual on the other end. Yo, Retro, you good? Yo, what's going on with this or what's going on with that or whatever. Checking in on me, making sure I'm all right. And then also offering some insight, some inspiration, and they did it from a place of integrity. It was not a jump on retro meeting, but it's a meeting, number one, out of concern, and to see if there's anything that they can do, and then, hey, this is why we do this, or this is why this is that, or so on and so forth, setting the standard. Okay, so don't just stop at inspiring people, but keep in touch with them. Keep in touch with them. Okay. Now I'm out of here. I'm out of here now. I'm gonna drink some more of this H2O. stay hydrated, and get on out y'all's way, man. I appreciate you guys for pressing play, and we'll catch you guys the next time we go live. Let's see here. I'll probably be going live again soon, sometime this week or next week, specifically to talk about Mission 448, or better yet, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go live straight to the Mission 448 page. That way we don't inundate you guys with content that you may not want to see or whatever. But Mission 448 is a thing, guys. Make sure you guys check it out. Ride the four corners of your state. We have registration open for each of the lower 48 states. So regardless of what state you reside in, or regardless of what state you would like to ride to, you can go ahead and hit us up, and registration is out. Now we are talking about getting some merchandise together. I was looking for my patches to flash, but they're over there, so out of reach. So make sure you check out the page. You can find the link on YouTube, and you can also find it here on if you're watching from Facebook, on the Facebook page. Mission 448 registration. You receive a 3-inch patch, certificate of completion. You also receive a welcome packet, and so as a matter of fact, I've got some certificates that I got to send out as soon as I hit finish, because they just completed it on I think it was Sunday. They completed the ride Sunday or Saturday. So we'll catch you guys on the next go round, man. And again, make sure you get over there and check out Mission 448. It's your boy Retro. I'm out of here. Talk to y'all later. Ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, everybody, including Lottie Dottie. It's your boy Retro. Let you know that registration for Mission 448 is open. You can register today and ride the four corners of your state or multiple states. Who's going to be the first to collect the four corners of each of the lower 48 states? Hashtag Who's Got Next. Register today and ride the four corners of your state. Gotta find the Retro Philosophy Show. Let's get ready to go live. Can't miss an episode.
You already know what it is. It's your homegirl Lottie Dottie. I'm in the building hanging out with Retro, and he ain't never lied.
And as I'm riding, I got a text from my man, you know who, the man of God, Mr. Retro. He said, slow down. So I'm gonna put my rain gear on. Speak of the devil. I ain't gonna say speak of the devil. Speak of the man above. Here he come. Ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Boy. I see he been practicing. Boy, you can tell when he been practicing. Right on cue. Right on cue. Right on cue. And as I'm riding,
hey now, this is the Mileage Bully,
I got
the Moto Mob CEO, home of the Moto Mob, where legends are made. You are now tuned in to the Retro Philosophy Show. Like, share, and subscribe. You know what to do. Press play.
Say, man, you know what it is, man. Special guest in the building. Much love and respect to my man Retro stopping through, y'all. Y'all know what to do.
Big Cell. You still keeping it 100.
I suffer from a disorder where I tell the truth and it pisses people off.
Who not like when me happy? See one straight road there to Ocean Boulevard. When you reach at the end, you see some water chuck off.
Whether you can swim or not, argument done.